Marisa di Sabatino, welcome to Nyans.
Thank you.
So, Team Solar, what is that all about, and what are you researching?
Team Solar, NTNU Energy Team Solar, is a group of experts from different departments at NTNU, and we, with our research, try to make solar energy more visible, both in Norway and worldwide. We come from different departments, for example, material science, physics, architectures, and so on. And we are both professors, researchers, but we also have postdocs, PhD. So it's a really large group of people.
Wow, so a lot of expertise in one place then. Now, in your opinion then, how should Norway go about the green transition?
Well, it's a good question. I think that everybody is interested to go for energy transition, and I believe that there's just not one energy source that can solve this the energy problem. Norway is lucky because it has access to many different energy sources, but if you want to think about the environmental consequences and so low CO2 emissions, we definitely have to think about sources of energy with the low CO2 emissions. So for sure, solar energy offers energy production with very low CO2 emissions.
So there is little CO2 emissions with solar power. So that's one of the benefits of using solar power.
Yes.
Are there other benefits? I mean, like, it doesn't sound intuitively like a good idea to use solar power in a dark country like Norway.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a question I get very often. But in Norway, we have a very good solar energy production. Now, the amount of sun throughout the year is not constant. So we have the bad months, the winter months, we don't have so much light. But even in the winter months like December, January, we still have production of solar energy. And so this is maybe something that needs more social acceptance, because people believe maybe in the winter we don't produce energy, but we do. And another advantage of Norway, like Scandinavian countries in general, is that there is low temperature, and actually low temperature works in our advantage because solar cells work better in cold climate.
Right, okay, that's counterintuitive and very good to know. So this is one of the benefits then, but I mean, we need a lot of silicon and I don't know what. So do we have all these things though?
We need, yeah, so to make solar cells, solar energy produced by a solar cell needs different materials. The main material to produce the commercial solar cells at the moment is silicon. More than 90% of the solar cells that you can buy in the market are made of silicon. And silicon comes from quartz. And luckily for us is that more than, well, this is the second most abundant element on the Earth crust. Is good. And the other thing that Norway is one of the largest producer worldwide, so then it makes sense to produce silicon solar cells in Norway, because Norway is one of the largest silicon producer in the world.
That makes a lot of sense. But you mentioned that this could be combined or should be combined with other energy sources.
Yes.
How come?
Well, it's because now Norway has how many millions of people? More than 5.5, something like that. So we have, for different countries, we have different needs, energy consumption. So if you look at the Norwegian energy consumption towards the year, solar energy alone cannot cover. So you are not able to charge your mobile phone, your car, washing machine, and so on throughout the year. So they will be in the months of low production. You have to combine with other energy. But if you combine with hydropower, wind power, so we have to think about combining with energy sources which have low CO2 emissions. I think this is the key.
Being on that, though, I also heard that there is a connection between solar power and thermal energy. I never quite understood this. Is this true, and how?
Yes, because this also comes from the sun. So thermal energy, you ask about to combine.
Exactly.
Yes. So, but in Norway, it's not so much installed at the moment. But you can combine the sun with the thermal power. So it's a little bit different ways to produce. So you don't need a solar cell, but basically use the sun to warm a fluid which can then be used to store the energy, which you can later use. But I don't have the numbers how much thermal installations we have in Norway, but in terms of photovoltaics, we have around 40 megawatt increase in the last year. So it's rather significant. So we have an exponential increase of photovoltaic installations in Norway. So I think people are becoming more aware of this possibility. And if you think about other kind of benefit, for example, like compared to wind, it doesn't take so much space. You can easily install a PV module on the roof of your house, and it takes less space than wind turbines.
Interesting. So it holds a lot of potential and benefits. I mean, low carbon emission.
Yes.
We have a lot of silicon. It could be combined with other sources, have them on roofs.
Yes.
So why are we not doing more of this in Norway?
Well, it's a good question. In other countries, I see, like in the Southern Europe, the government have used incentives to promote more and more these installations. So Norway has had some other strategies. For example, they have promoted more the use of electric car for this energy transition. So maybe hydrogen, other energy sources are a bit more promoted than solar energy. But then again, I think it's a matter of social acceptance to make people believe that this is possible.
Marisa, thanks again for coming. Any final word of advice or something you would like to say in closing?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this interview, and I'm very happy to talk about solar energy because I think people should be more aware about the possibilities, and I think for the future we should think about energy production combined with low CO2 emissions. So I think in this term, solar energy is one of the best solutions.
Thank you.
Thank you.